With Apple and Google and others promising a future where your smartwatch can also be utilized as a reliable blood pressure monitor, I was surprised to find out that that technology already exists and that there is a smartwatch with that capability that is already available. And that smartwatch is the YRH Doctor Pro blood pressure smartwatch, which is definitely one of the most unique wearables I've come across in a while, with heart rate and exercise tracking, sleep, and even HRV monitoring. And of course, the main feature that sets this apart, the integrated inflatable cuff that works to monitor your blood pressure. So let's dig into exactly what this smartwatch has to offer. So design-wise, you'll probably notice that this is a fairly bulky watch, and while I don't think it looks terrible or anything, it doesn't have that super sleek modern look to it. Now, I wouldn't say that this is at all an ugly watch, but if style is your #1 criteria for a wearable, you may not be too impressed. But the fact is, if you're interested in a blood pressure watch like this, you're probably more about the function and convenience of it over its looks. In terms of comfort, it's neither great nor bad. It is on the heavier side, but doesn't feel too much different than wearing a heavier GPS watch from companies like Garmin or Coros. And I actually think the YRH could look a whole lot better if it had some nicer watch face options, because while there are a few to select from here, there aren't any that I really particularly loved. But the display itself is pretty nice, being a 1.4-inch AM OLED glass touchscreen, so definitely not bad at all and feels great to use. It's quick and responsive to open the menu up and utilize some of the included options. Now, the body of the watch is made with stainless steel, and because the blood pressure cuff is integrated with half of this watch strap, you don't really have the option to change it to another color or anything, although you can order a replacement from their website if you need to. Now, there are 2 buttons on the side, the smaller of which turns the screen on and off, and the larger which will take you to the main app area. And the included apps here include the blood pressure monitor, blood oxygen monitor, heart rate monitor, exercise tracker, alarm clock, calorie tracker, sleep tracker, a weather app, and even an HRV or heart rate variability tracker. So first, let's talk about the blood pressure monitor, as that's likely the reason that you would be considering the YRH Doctor Pro in the first place. So the interface here is actually well thought out, with it allowing you to optionally select a guest mode if you're letting somebody else try the watch, and so won't record that data, and also allows you to set reminders if you need to be checking your blood pressure daily or several times throughout the day. Now, once you start, just like a regular blood pressure monitor, you will be able to feel the inflatable cuff start to inflate, and it'll show how much pressure is being applied directly on the watch in real time. Now, in order to get the most accurate results, what I've found works best is to have the watch at least 3 fingers up your wrist and strapped fairly tight. And of course, having your arm in a nice relaxed position with your wrist at or slightly above the level of your heart. The blood pressure reading here is not going to be 100% accurate, of course, but it's supposedly near to the accuracy of a medical grade blood pressure monitor. And I think personally, it's probably in the ballpark of around a 5 to 10% error. And if you regularly test your blood pressure while you're getting started with this, you can sort of figure out which way it tends to err towards. You know, for me, it was always a little bit high, but not significantly so. So now I know to just adjust for that. The rest of the apps, like the blood saturation monitor and the heart rate monitor, are pretty decent. The exercise tracker is fairly limited, with only a few options to choose from, and the heart rate accuracy tends not to be the best if you're really pushing yourself in a workout, but it is good enough for everyday regular use. The sleep tracker seems as reliable as most smartwatches, which means it's not that great, but neither are most. So I really wouldn't get caught up on that too much. And the HRV tracker, again, like most smartwatches, which aren't really made for that sort of accuracy like Whoop is going to have a fairly limited accuracy as well. But I don't see any signs that it is worse or better than other non-HRV focused smartwatches. And so it's still good enough to give you some decent insights on how your body's responding to stress and sleep and so forth. Now, the YRH Doctor Pro Smart, of course, comes with a charger, which seemed to get a full charge for the watch within several hours, and the battery life for me ranged from 3 to 4 days. So look, there really doesn't need to be much more said about this watch. If you need to track your blood pressure daily or multiple times throughout the day to help monitor a condition, and you want the convenience of being able to do so without always having an electronic blood pressure monitor on hand, then this is definitely worth your consideration. This is Colin Jenkins with Connect the Watts. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. Appreciate you being here, and see you next time.